All right, welcome back, fellow TFFL owners, to your off-season TFFL webcast. It's been probably a couple months since we've done this, but here we are. It's May 4th, 2021. As we were just saying, may the 4th be with you tonight. We got lots. Today's a great day. Today is just a great day. Not only is it May 4th, but it's May 4th, Michael Giovenco's birthday. Not just Michael Giovenco's birthday, but Michael Giovenco's 50th birthday.
5-0 for Michael.
I hope he's not spending it watching us.
No.
Happy birthday, Michael.
Yes, happy birthday.
There's not a lot else to do these days. He might be watching us.
Could be.
Never know. No, this is true.
I'm sure he's not.
Happy birthday, by the way, to Julianne Martinelli as well.
Happy birthday.
If the Dirt Devils franchise is watching. Happy anniversary yesterday to the Borgs.
Borkmans.
And to the Sticks.
And to the Sticks.
Happy anniversary, Sticks.
Yes.
Anniversary both of you.
So a big couple of days here.
Thank you. Thank you.
So welcome back, everybody. Let's reintroduce everybody in case anybody has forgotten. Starting with our commissioner, Richard. How are you?
I'm doing great. Living La Viva COVID.
You have a bourbon for us?
I don't. I have water tonight. I had a sip of sunshine earlier.
Such a good year.
And so I've reached my limit for the day.
All right, then I'm going to count on the skipper of the Sponge Fisherman Chief maybe to have something to show us.
Dark and stormy tonight.
There you go. Good. Welcome. Berto, High Command from Jack's Giant Killers. Welcome.
Stick, how are you? And we're also TFBA playoffs this week.
Yeah, TFBA playoffs started yesterday. We got two, I think, strong matchups. That'll be exciting over the next 2 weeks. Chief doesn't care.
Nope, that's all right.
I haven't looked at the site this week, I'll be honest with you.
You know what? That is what I'm going to propose for the rule book when we finally get around to doing rules. We know talking about the basketball league during TFFL webcasts.
I'll second that rule.
That's not a rule.
20 seconds.
Listen, we're not going to be the censorship police on this program, not as long as I'm involved. That's
There you
no.
go.
We can talk about whatever the hell we want. We can talk about what bourbon we're drinking and what beer we're having. We can talk about TFBA fantasy basketball for a minute.
Now, for me, that's I'm cool. You want to talk to a minute, but to me, that's like someone else talking about their other fantasy football league.
Well, sorry about our other fantasy basketball league. That's all.
Carry on. Three of the 5 of us are involved in this.
We've argued it longer than the point.
There we go.
Carry on.
I heard you played golf this morning with new clubs. Is that what?
This evening, yes, I got fitted, all new clubs. See, now we'll go way off time. I could spend a lot of time talking about this, so I won't. Yes, new clubs.
How'd you shoot?
I got a 45. It's nice, solid.
Yep, strong.
Take it
Yeah.
for May, the beginning of May.
Yeah. Good. Happy. I'm very happy for you. You have a new toy.
Taylor made Sim 2, irons and hybrids, and Callaway Maverick driver 3-wood.
Okay.
Very exciting.
Very exciting.
Nice job. All right, and Hank, our IT director, czar, and CEO of the K-Wheels, thank you for bringing us together.
Good evening, everyone. Glad to be a collaborator with you, gentlemen. Yeah, I haven't been doing anything. I mean, I'm sure you guys have been rocking it, but look forward to doing some things.
So, speaking of doing things, and speaking of non-TFFL matters, let's get this out of the way. We did do something this past weekend. We saw, of all people, Mike Giroux.
We did. We saw Mike Giroux. Yeah.
That's so cool. What was he doing down there?
Cam Heffernan as well.
Cam.
John.
Yeah, Karate. We all went to Karate's house, and we met at Karate's house, and we saw Cam and Giroux and Sarah, and
Yeah.
nice evening. You know.
Were they down to visit Jake?
Yes.
Yep.
They were dropping him off. And I guess the dorms aren't open. He's going to American University, and the dorms aren't open. So he's living in an Airbnb, but I guess had it, pretty well set up. And I think as most of us at that age, at 18, 19 years old, are ready to get the hell away from parents in whatever context that may be. So I think he was very excited. And yeah, good visit with those guys.
Wow.
Airbnb sounds better than Kimmel dorm.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So is everybody on this call vaccinated fully at this point?
Yep.
Yes.
Fully vaxxed.
Chief's an anti-vaxxer? You're on mute.
We lost Chief. Chief's
We
on.
lost you, Chief. You're on
Chief's
mute.
on.
I have been vaccinated.
You have been vaccinated.
I get my second one on Sunday. I will hope. Hank had quite an experience with his second one. I'll hope mine is only 24 hours long.
Oh, really? Did you have a reaction?
I did. I'm one of the few people, and I'm certain it's because of other underlying medical conditions that I do possess. But man, I had a rough, 48 hours, really bad.
Like flu, fever, or
Could not control my body temperature at all. I would get boiling hot to the point where I'd be sitting on the couch doing nothing, sweating, just profusely sweating. And then 5 minutes later, I would be freezing and need a blanket. And then I would just get exhausted, and I would just sleep for like, an hour. And I'd get up, and 45 minutes later, I'd be exhausted again. Yeah,
Moderna or Pfizer?
Pfizer.
Was that after your first one or the second?
Second one.
The second one.
Yeah.
I had it at 12:30 in the afternoon, and then the next I woke up at 4 a.m. and I couldn't get enough blankets, freezing, chills, but I was okay by like noon or 2 in the afternoon.
See, what's weird for me is the next day I felt fine. The next day after that, I felt fine. It wasn't until like 72 hours later that I was just floored and I could not function.
Yeah, I think everyone just reacts very differently to this thing. I mean, because I got my shot at 3 o'clock. I had the J&J one and done.
Yep.
I got my shot at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. 9 o'clock that night, I had chills. 2 a.m., I had 103 fever. The next day, I basically slept through the entire day. I woke up Monday like nothing happened.
That's what I think happens to most people. I'm looking forward to the deep sleep.
I didn't really get it, but yeah, I hope you get it.
All right. Well, let's talk about it. Let's move on. I have an exciting development to report in the world of the TFFL webcast. I believe, and we probably talked about this, and it's a vague, fuzzy memory, but I believe Chief is going to take over TFFL trivia.
Yes,
that's correct.
At least for tonight. I hope.
No, I'm prepared to do this all season.
This is exciting news.
This is very
on
exciting
the
news.
webcast. I will, send some of the questions and later the answer. So this is excited. This way, you don't have to design 14-point questions when I'm not around to beat me. So let's get into it, shall we?
all right.
If that's what's on deck, I'm ready.
So the main event as far as the NFL world recently is obviously the draft. So I kind of use that as a guideline for this question. Now this is worded kind of awkwardly. It might take us a little while to get this straightened out. Okay. However, I rejoined the TFFL in 2004. The only reason that's important is I have every draft from 2004 to 2020. So this question from 2004 draft to present time. Right, so that is 16 drafts, maybe?
17, maybe?
17 drafts, yeah. Okay. So I want you to give me a team, an NFL team, who never had a player drafted #1 in the TFFL draft.
Chief, you're right. That was very awkwardly worded.
It is.
So the answer you're looking for the name of an NFL team. The answer is going to be an NFL team who, throughout the last 17 drafts,
There's
Never had
Let me
a player in the TFL draft drafted first. So
Right.
what
There-
NFL team never had a TFL player drafted?
and there are 18 teams, so it's not hard. I mean,
All right.
who have never had since 2004 one of their players go first overall in the TFFL draft.
Okay.
That's worth a point.
Wow.
Got it.
Okay. Now, there are also 7 of those teams have never had a player go first or second in the TFFL draft.
Hmm.
So I'm only looking for one team name.
Okay.
You get 1 point if they have never had a player go number 1 overall in the TFL draft. You'll get 4 points if you give me one of those teams that have never had a player go first or second in the
Big
TFL
bonus.
draft.
That's a big bonus.
2004.
We need some time to chew on this.
Yeah, I need some time to think
I'm
about
already done. I'm ready.
I think I know one of them.
Well, I mean, there's 7 teams.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
you're doing this.
Okay.
So 7 teams will get you 4
You're
points.
thinking about this differently than I am.
I'm trying to think back to all the
For
draft.
7
All right, you
teams,
guys
we'll
work
get
out the
4
hard details in your heads. I'll sit here and I'm
All right,
going to go to
I
the
got
restroom. I'll be back. Okay.
All right, Chief. Well done. Definitely chew on that for a while. Okay.
I like the question.
All right,
Do I
Rick.
have to answer it in the form of an Aaron Rodgers Jeopardy answer?
All right. Oh, I got a team. I don't know.
I have a team.
Are we ready?
Did you answer in the form of an Aaron Rodgers Jeopardy response?
No, I did not.
All right.
I need all webcasts to think about this. Hold on. All right.
That's fine.
Don't we get the answer at the end?
Sure.
Okay.
Take your time.
I'm going to be difficult like all you guys used to be. Repeat the question, please, Chief.
How about let Berto rephrase it? He might have a better way to state it.
Could you wait? Was there a clue in what you just said? All right, Rich, you can't go to the bathroom. It's your turn. Commissioner's Corner.
Yeah, rock and roll.
Lot of off.
Welcome to the 2021 TFFL, baby. We are open for business and ready to roll. And
Good.
The essential doc is updated. The only thing that needs to be eventually put in, and I won't do this until later because other things will happen before the draft, is that I have to input all the swaps and trades that were made. But the draft order, if everything was standard without the trades and whatnot, is in there and updated through the full 13 rounds. So if you go to look at the 2021 draft board or list and draft order, you will see there's one page that has the order and the records, and then the other tab has the full, 1 through round 13 draft with the order properly put in. I will get to updating it shortly so that people can refer to it for trades and whatnot. But for now, you can go and refer to the 2020 trades and FA swaps and picks that are in there. Okay. Outside of that, the rules process we extended. I encourage everyone to have a much more positive thought process about the rules. Chief already proposed one during this webcast. I encourage you to think of other rules that will only make our league better. Continue to give Thornburg a hard time. I got no problem with that whatsoever. But I do take the rules process seriously. I think that we have an opportunity with, the extra games, things to think about, right? I don't anticipate that the extra game this year is going to have an impact on our league. We're going to keep it as is. We're going to have our pack goal when it is. And I really don't see it impacting us because I worry that more people will just be off at the end of the year, personally. And that I'm not so sure we should extend the playoffs much further than where we have it today. Maybe we use that extra game for something else fun, which maybe would be a rule proposal. By all means, offer up your suggestions for what we do with week 17 and 18, maybe differently. Maybe we do a 2-week Pro Bowl or something like that. In any case, the rules process will start shortly. I believe we said we were going to do that in May, and then we'll roll from there. The draft itself is all set up. As everyone knows, we secured our house. Super excited about that. And Berto, thanks for securing that. All it took was one quick text,
Yep.
and an email, and we were done.
It's great working with that owner. It's awesome.
Knock on wood. Start making your travel plans.
Hopefully we'll
Everyone on this is vaccinated. as long as nobody's unvaccinated, we should be good to go, my friends. So I anticipate being there, other than, some other natural disaster occurring, which is quite possible based on years past. However, we have the insurance, and should that need to be pulled, we can always move to an alternative location and pivot at the snap of our fingers, as we've done in the past. So count on us having a draft. Count on us having it in person, hopefully, and we'll be very excited. I believe it's the second weekend in September. Other than that, I think that's all the commissioner has for the evening, other than welcome back.
And if something did go wrong, this would be the third time we would be pulling the insurance card on this house and this owner. But she hasn't minded so far, so
that makes her all the better of an owner.
It's great. Awesome working with her.
Right. Any questions? Any other thoughts? Did I miss anything, distinguished panel?
I just want to make sure Phil is okay with the timeline for the rule.
Hey, listen, I addressed this at the source of the matter, as you guys will see when we have the rules proposals sent out before us. There will be a rules proposal that says we do not start discussing rules proposals until we get to a much more appropriate time in the calendar year, not when it lines up with Thornburg's desire to do it. So there will be much discussion about this, I am sure. I am hopeful that we will all maintain a good decorum in doing so. And I'm talking to myself most importantly.
I think anything goes post draft. I said once the draft happens, we're back. That in my opinion is sort of when we kick back into things. I was kind of with you and I got it. I was like, really? It's draft?
When it hit my email box, and
it wasn't there yet.
Every year is Thorny sends out the email. God bless him. I am so far away from thinking about fantasy football that I ignore it. And then a week later, he says, I've received no proposals. Okay, I guess nobody wants to vote on anything. Screw all of you guys. I'm taking my ball and going home. Blah. I don't want him to feel that way because that's not how it should be. True. But at the same time, and he's trying to follow the process. I respect that. And he knows that I respect that. But at the same time, it's the wrong time to do it. Let's get people engaged. Let's talk about the things that we should talk about, like the extra game. There was all kinds of talk about turning flex positions and changing, the lineup structure a little bit in terms of how 6 skill position players could fit into it. Okay, let's have those discussions. Let's not have them in February, March, or April. Come on.
Yeah. Thornburg is a solid rules representative and chair. I love everything he does about the rules process. I can't disagree with you, Hank. It feels a little early to me too when we start the process. So I was more than happy to suspend the activities until a more appropriate time. And like I was saying, I think now that the draft is in, people are talking about football. It's starting to get exciting. And let's go. Giddy up.
Let's talk football. So absolutely. I don't have this very well scripted, but there's actually a lot of big news going on in the NFL that we can talk about, and we'll just open this right up. For better or worse, unfortunately for you guys, we have 2 big quarterback situations affecting keeper lists, and both of those owners happen to be here. Let's start with Hank and the K-Wheels. Deshaun Watson, bad guy. May be getting suspended, maybe probably not going to jail. I don't think this is going to end up as a criminal matter. But I don't think he's playing in the NFL in 2021, even if you wanted him on your team. You've kind of moved on already, yes?
I've already kind of gone through the first stage of grief in that, I've been sad already and been mad about it. And I've kind of reached a level of, general acceptance and crap. He's not going to play this year. I mean, even if he does, he's going to have a major clouds hanging over his head aside from a trade or a new team. And it could not have happened at a worse time for Deshaun Watson. Sorry for Deshaun Watson.
He's on a shitty Texans team to boot.
Terrible. And he wanted to try and push a trade, and that's dead. So the kid just really screwed himself big time. Sounds like he maybe deserved it. So yeah, I think I'm very much in a situation where I just got to punt on him and we'll figure something else out. So I'm looking for a QB.
I think there's plenty of options out there for you.
So
Well, and we'll hopefully find at least one or two of them.
He's going to trade with Berto. Watch
So,
it.
yeah.
I'm not, no, yeah, put it down.
Watch.
I would never do that.
send me your offer.
He's
There's
trading
no
with Berto.
offers. There's no offers for you.
Joe Burrow, K-Wheel in
Wow, we
2021.
made a couple deals this year.
I know, and I don't think I should do that.
So anyway, Watson, 22 lawsuits now against him. He's not playing. I mean,
No.
that's crazy. And the Texans used their first pick on a quarterback. Granted, it was the 60th something or whatever overall pick, but their first pick on a QB, and they suck, as you just rightly pointed out, Stick, in a lot of other areas. So, yeah, I mean, he's in trouble for this year and beyond.
More importantly, what the fuck is wrong with the Texans? They're just a mess.
Mess.
Yeah,
Jack Easterby, who somehow went from Patriots team chaplain to overseer of football operations in less than 2 calendar years in Houston.
Is that right?
yeah.
The guy's like a Rasputin, Svengali whisperer. Yeah, I don't know. But
Okay.
you know, this guy who has never worked a day in personnel in his life or coaching in his life, he was literally the Patriots team chaplain. And then they called him character coach.
Wow.
And then he left with that whole Bob Kraft rub and tug thing, morally outraged him, went to the Texans, and it's just been got the owner's ear. Fire this guy, give me his power. You know, again, he was a de facto GM last year.
Well, they're not better off for it. That team's a disaster.
This is why we have like first and second draft picks going for an offensive tackle.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
this is why you trade Hopkins for David Johnson. You know, because you don't have a football guy making these decisions. Anyway, but that's what the hell happened to the Texans, put simply.
Yeah. So Hank has kind of moved on from Deshaun Watson already. He's going to be looking for a new quarterback. What I'm hearing is that new quarterback may be coming in the draft as opposed to via a trade. What I believe you might want everybody to know is you're probably looking to trade for a seventh keeper.
Maybe.
That
might be. I mean, Devin Singletary is definitely a questionable seventh keeper, and I could keep Brandon Cooks, I suppose, it's another questionable keeper.
It was good that the Bills didn't draft a running back. That there was a lot of speculation the Bills were going to draft a running back. So
I saw
kept his value up.
Yeah, I saw several that had ATN going to the Bills and at the end of the first round, and didn't happen. So maybe who knows? Maybe Singletary has value. Who knows? I don't want to get ahead of that. But if he maybe. But yeah, I mean I may have room on my keeper list for a player, but I know how the deals go when we get closer to keeper deadline. There can be bargains can be found.
Huh.
Right, Berta?
Yeah. Sounds like a September 1st.
Matt Ryan trade on September 1st. We'll talk. All right.
We'll talk. Yeah, Matt Ryan, that's the guy.
Chief, Aaron Rodgers is really a big blow to the sponge fishermen. Obviously, you have Devontae Adams as well. Would go down the rankings a lot if he were catching passes from Jordan Love this year, as opposed to Aaron Rodgers. Probably doesn't help Aaron Jones if Aaron Rodgers were to leave town. You can trace it back to the Jordan Love draft pick, but that just seems to have blown up big in a hurry.
Aaron Rodgers is a big baby head.
Well, it tells us
got out of control quickly.
And what we always suspected, and because the evidence was there, is that Aaron Rodgers is a very, very petty person. Okay, so be it. Most great quarterbacks probably are to some extent. It doesn't really affect me the way it affects Hank. I'm not going to change the composition of my team.
Right.
Aaron Jones is my RB1 regardless. Devontae Adams is my WR1 regardless. And frankly, Aaron Rodgers is going to be protected. He can come tomorrow and he'd say he's going to quit to be a full-time host of Jeopardy, and I'm still going to protect him. I think that I mean, first of all, I don't think he'll be offered the job because let's face it, while I liked watching him, he wasn't nearly as good as Anderson Cooper or some of these other guys who were guest hosting.
Yeah, I think Anderson was the best one so far.
But I am. It seemed to me to be a bluff move, and I would expect his rights to be traded, or him to just have a change of heart at that point before the protection day. So
if I were the Packers,
it's hard for me to envision a scenario where I don't protect him. Do I have to draft a quarterback higher? Well, yeah, obviously. My first pick's the third round. That would be a quarterback. It's not ideal. That's what it is.
Fair enough. I just think that personally the Packers should, if he doesn't come back, they shouldn't trade his rights. They shouldn't do anything. They should just sit on him until he retires.
Now, if you're the GM, I think again we're talking about unqualified GMs. They have one too.
Yep.
Yeah.
How does it help you if the 49ers were offering the number 3 overall pick plus somebody else players? I mean, I can see there's some value in laying down the law and saying we're not going to break, nobody's above the team. You can play first to sit. That's great. But at the same time, that's a guy who you can trade for a shitload. That's one of the 5 top players in the NFL.
Right.
You can trade him for multiple picks, multiple players. It seems silly to draw the line in the sand there.
And he's no spring chicken either. I mean, man, you could have gotten a king's ransom for a 38-year-old guy or whatever old he is. Is that how old he is? Around there?
38. Yeah, he's 38.
They traded up to get Jordan Love for a reason. Obviously, they like him.
But the whole thing is just stupid because the Packers drafted Aaron Rodgers in the first round, right? And Brett Favre wasn't happy, but they made it work, and Aaron Rodgers became Aaron Rodgers. He experienced that, and he sat behind Favre for a couple of years and developed and then the whole thing about them not supporting him is absolute horseshit because they got one of the top 5 offensive lines. They have arguably the best wide receiver in the game, Devontae Adams, right? They've got a top 10 running back. They have supported him. What does he want in terms of that part?
He wants apparently, to have Tom Brady treatment relative to. I want to tell you to go get Antonio Brown. You go get Antonio Brown. I want to, go get this guy. Go get this guy for me.
That's fine. But my point is, they're not bereft of talent on the offensive side of it. They have built around him. They drafted a quarterback. Big fucking deal. These guys got to get over that. So what? He sits for a couple of years, and then we see what happens.
See, as somebody who hates
the other thing too, he wants to get extended beyond 3 years, right? So he's got 3 more years in his contract. Well, tough. It's a power play, and he's a prima donna, and it's ridiculous.
Is it a 3-year contract or is it a 1-year contract with 2 club options on the end?
I think
that's what I've read. That he wants a guaranteed 2 years contract.
They could make it right.
As opposed to thing where the Packers can cut him at any time with no ramifications. They're going year to year with him.
All I'm saying is they can make it right. I was reading an interesting article too about the Packers and their ownership, or not having an owner, right?
Yep.
So the article I was reading was talking about, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a VP in the organization, and he's like, "There's no owner. Mm-hmm. A lot of stuff is done by committees. The committees are really good for talent evaluation.
Yeah.
And they do a really good job with that. What they don't do a good job about is communicating to the players because there's nobody on point to do it. There's not an owner, a Bob Kraft who can coddle somebody or an owner who can speak directly to the player or whatever. So that is a little bit lost. And a prima donna like Rodgers clearly needed somebody to be like, okay, what do you really mold and work with him in a way, right? That, so maybe there's a little something there on the Packers, but he's being a dick.
As somebody who hates Green Bay with a passion and wishes them nothing but ill will, it makes me chuckle a little bit to see Rodgers, this whole situation falling apart because Rodgers came into this when drafted behind Brett Favre, who was pissed off about it.
Yeah.
And Rodgers sat there for a year while Favre played out his deal and then moved on. And maybe Rodgers, that's his inevitable future as well. I think I read that same article that Berto is talking about, and there's absolutely an issue with Rodgers needs a little coddling. He wants the Tom Brady treatment where Robert Kraft puts his arm around him and says, Tom, what do you need, buddy? And even if he doesn't get it, at least he's got a seat at the table. And I don't think Rodgers has a table, much less a seat at it.
Yeah,
That's exactly right. It's all those things. And he's also tired of seeing all the other rookies get these big paydays and these young guys, the Mahomes and everyone else getting big money. You know, so I think he's jealous in a whole bunch of areas. He's envious in a bunch of areas, and he's a big baby head.
He's a big baby.
And the other thing too, from the Packers' point of view, they've won 13 games the last 2 seasons and made championship, title appearances. Why would they trade him when they have all the pieces there to go back to the Super Bowl, assuming he can play, or he wants to play?
I don't know.
But all right, here's my quick take on this. I think both sides are wrong. I think we can all agree Aaron Rodgers is a jackass, and to me, I think these leaks are coming from his camp. He wants the attention.
Mm-hmm.
I think everything we've talked about here is true. I think you can also say, I think Green Bay has fucked this up as well. Jordan Love was a bad draft pick in many respects to me. This was a guy who really hadn't proven himself to be a first-round pick last year. The pick came out of nowhere. I don't think it was well planned. I think you can argue, they have not necessarily gone out and given him a lot to work with. Devontae Adams was not a first-round pick. Aaron Jones was not a first-round pick. They have not invested a lot in those skill positions.
What basis do you have that it wasn't well planned?
I just get the sense that Jordan Love was sitting there and it just – you don't draft a guy. Aaron Rodgers is 37. Quarterbacks are playing till they're 42. The whole idea these days behind drafting a rookie quarterback is to take advantage of him playing and playing well on that rookie contract. Jordan Love should not be seeing the field, during his first 5 years, given Aaron Rodgers' age. To me, it didn't make. I'm going on about that pick. The interesting thing now to me, though, is, if you're Green Bay. And you're kind of faced with the choice of get rid of Aaron Rodgers or get rid of Gutekunst, whatever his name is. Get rid of the fucking GM. You've gone to the NFC Championship game the last 2 years. We can all agree Aaron Rodgers is one of the top 3 players in this league in terms of being able to control a game. If he retires and doesn't play, Green Bay is not sniffing the NFC Championship game. If you get rid of your GM, you got a chance to win the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. And if you're Gutekunst and you're the GM making these decisions, you ought to resign. The best thing you can do for your team is have Aaron Rodgers come back in the door and play quarterback for you.
Yeah, absolutely. If that's what it took, if that's all it took, if he says, Aaron, if I resign, you come back,
he should. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think the really thing was they actually they traded up to get Jordan Love.
They traded
back who was like 3 or 4 years away from seeing the field, which goes to your point.
Yep.
They should have felt that threatened by it, but still, they traded up to get him. And as you said, Beryl, they haven't, they've supported him, they've put pieces around them. What could have they got with that first-round draft pick and the 4th-round draft pick? That may have gotten him over the hump into the Super Bowl game last year. Maybe a stud defensive tackle or cornerback. Maybe there's a tight end. I don't know the draft last year offhand,
right.
But something that was going to see. I mean, Tom Brady did the same thing. They drafted Garoppolo, right? Why draft him when you could have got somebody who could help us?
Yeah, I'm not. You're right. I mean, I'm not saying okay, it was a good pick. All I'm saying is the Packers haven't been negligent in putting talent around him. Is my point. And was that a bad pick? Yeah, okay, but they've done a pretty damn good job with the pieces that they have on the offensive side of the ball and defense. 13 wins the last 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But Aaron Rodgers is going to say a lot of that is because of Aaron Rodgers playing quarterback and dealing with a paper-thin offensive line and no investment in any receiver beyond Devontae Adams' second round pick. They traded up to get Jordan Love in the first round.
Their offensive line is good.
Hmm?
Their offensive line is good.
Well, Okay, then then that's not, then you're talking skill players. Okay, then when is the last time they took a receiver in the first round or the first two rounds?
But they had Devontae Adams too.
Yeah,
Yeah, but behind him, right? The rest of the tight ends and receiver group's pretty
Yeah.
good. Alan Lazard, who is maybe good.
Well, they brought in Jimmy Graham at one point, right? Jimmy Graham
last year. Someone like after the game asked Aaron Rodgers, like, you've only completed one pass to a first round draft pick, and Rodgers knew it right away. In his career, he's thrown a pass to one.
Oh yeah,
like Javon Walker or somebody.
Yeah,
Corin Robinson.
Yeah. Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's a deep pull.
Anyway, yeah, okay. I mean, but it's not like they're the Jets. I mean,
But it's also not like everyone's taking receivers in the first round all the time.
and they suck. I mean, just ask an Eagles fan. Like, we've not had any success with first round. I mean, hopefully, knock on wood, this year's different. And hopefully last year, Rieger's going to pan out too. But there's many, we picked a bunch of them and they haven't been great. So who knows?
Has the Patriots drafted wide receiver in the first round?
What's that?
I was asking if the Patriots had drafted a wide receiver in the first round.
N'Keal Harry.
Who?
Jackson, N'Keal Harry.
N'Keal Harry was a first rounder?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That paid off.
Yeah.
So Terry Glenn, way back when.
No. Yeah. One last point on the Aaron Rodgers Green Bay story. I think last year on the webcast I brought this up that Green Bay, I forget what their exact record was, but obviously when they let go of Mike McCarthy, that team was not making the NFC Championship. They were not even making the playoffs for a couple of years there. You got to give some credit to LaFleur, who in his 2 years on the job, I think is 13-3 and 13-3.
I think he's a good coach.
Yeah, so I'm a little surprised that between him and Rodgers, they don't see some magic here that's gotten them on the doorstep of the Super Bowl 2 straight years.
Well, he did take the football out of his hands on a 4th and 1 or whatever it was, 4th and short. That might have soured him.
That's a good point. I remember. All right, so let's talk about some exciting rookies here now. We just had the NFL draft. I think we can dispense with any suspense over who will be the number 1 overall pick. That's going to be Najee Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the next running back, guys? Is it Etienne or is it
or is it what?
Javonte Williams?
Oh. Who's making the pick?
Number 2 pick is the Boba not?
Boba Fett's.
Yeah.
Boba Fett's pick 2nd. Yes. Thornburg 1, Fats 2, K Wheels 3.
So we've kind of ruled out Kyle Pitts there to the Boba because they have
Kelsey.
Yeah.
That's what I was asking, right?
Yeah. Okay. So then it's Etienne or Javonte Williams, presumably. Who's the number 2 running back in this class?
Who does he have? Who else? Does he have anyone else on Miami?
I don't think so.
Just curious.
Neither one plays for Miami.
Yeah, why Miami? I would think the answer in this is ATN.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Jacksonville. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Who is it that's got? It's Nick. The Dirt Devils have James Robinson.
James Robinson.
He got
Right.
ATN pick.
Yeah, but I would think that ATN will be able to keep him out as they go.
Well, maybe Robinson represents more of a 1-2 where you could see NTN playing the third down back sort of guy, at least to start.
Mm-hmm. He could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're looking at talent, and I don't watch a lot of college football, but I know Travis Etienne, right? I've been seeing on TV for 3 years.
He's good.
He's a talented guy. He will play right away.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, this other guy, who I've already forgotten where I went to school,
North Carolina.
his name.
North Carolina.
Right, he's in a very good situation right now. I think at most Gordon's got 1 year in Denver.
Yep.
So I think that what's his name, Javonte?
Yeah.
Javonte
Williams. I wish I knew how good he was. I wish I've seen him play on Saturdays. I don't know. But the coaching staff seems to really like him, and I think he's in a great situation.
Yep.
All right. The next big question on rookie running backs, we've got the 3 top-tier guys. We've got Najee Harris, ETN, Javonte Williams. Are there any other, and how many other rookie running backs are going to get into our first round? My mock draft had Michael Carter from the Jets going.
Yep.
I think Troy Sermon, if I'm pronouncing that right.
Trey Sermon.
He probably slips into the first, maybe slips into the first round.
Maybe.
We're talking about a 4th round NFL pick, 3rd rounder with him.
Yep.
It's just not a deep rookie running back class.
No.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Those guys, I think 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had 1 QB, 1 tight end, 5 running backs, 5 receivers.
Well, I think history tells will still be more.
More running backs?
Yeah.
Rookies? I think it was just rookies that you were.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
I think just based on what this league does historically, and I don't know. I think that the Lions picked one up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think Green Bay picked one up. The Panthers picked up that Hubbard guy.
Yeah.
Double Hubbard. Yep.
Well, I think especially towards the end of the round, you might see some of these guys go.
Mm-hmm. Would you take those guys over? I think this class though has like 5 or 6 maybe really good wide receivers. That if you're like, I mean, is Jamar Chase and what's his name, the Heisman Trophy winner guy? Those guys, are they going to be in the mix of top 5, 6 picks in our league? I think probably they are.
Probably. Yeah. I'll tell you what. If I was drafting number 2, I'd probably take Chase.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got a rookie tight end who's going to go.
Yep.
Kyle Pitts,
which is unheard of for us.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that guy is just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I love Devontae Smith, but I think a legitimate question has been raised, and Berto, you've even kind of touched on it. Is do you have to downgrade him because he got drafted by Philadelphia? Because they don't have a great track record for developing receivers. Because I don't know what the heck you're getting with Jalen Hurts as your quarterback. I'd love to be excited about him, and I suspect at number 6 overall, you're probably looking at him.
Yeah, I think he can be really good. Like I said, hopefully Rager, he's going to get targets. He's going to be in the game. He's going to play. So I'm cautiously optimistic. Let's go. Let's do it again. Let's see if this guy's a real deal. I mean, Heisman Trophy winner. Let's go.
Do you believe in Jalen Hurts?
What's that?
Do you believe in Jalen Hurts?
I saw, let me put it this way. I saw enough in him to say that I would prefer him now over Wentz. How about that? Because Wentz got to the point where he just couldn't get rid of the ball. And, it's just – and maybe he will be successful in Indianapolis because that's a really good offensive line and he's going to have possibly all day to throw to. However, I watched enough of him to just – he just couldn't get rid of the ball. Every play, he just held on to the ball too long.
Yep.
And he's going to get hurt if he does that on the Eagles. Maybe the Colts can keep him more upright. I don't know. At least Hurts has got some mobility and he can move around a little bit. Not to say that Wentz was a statue, but, it just wasn't working. And I saw enough from him that, it's promising. Let me put it that way.
All right.
And he played with him at Alabama. So, okay. A lot of that going around in the NFL draft where, teams brought the band back together and hooked up QB and receiver. So hopefully that brings a little juice too.
All right, and it's a foregone conclusion. Trevor Lawrence definitely going in the first round to somebody.
Yes, foregone conclusion.
I have no argument here. When did Joe Burrow go?
6?
15th overall or so?
Joe Burrow went second round last year, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But the early part of the round, like 15th or so.
I don't remember.
I mean, he'll definitely go higher than Joe Burrow. Was my point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
He'll go like the Andrew
You
Luck.
go as high as number 3 to the K Wheels.
So the year Andrew Luck and oh my God, I'm blanking on his name already.
RG3.
RG3.
They
Yep.
were 4,
1,
5. No, I had the 5th. I picked the David Wilson.
I think there were 3 and 4.
3, 4.
Or maybe
Yeah.
3 and
I
5.
think I took Andrew Luck at 3.
I think
3?
so too.
So they
Yeah, I
were
think it was
3,
something like
4. So, could go that high. I consider him at 6 if I don't keep Burrow, maybe.
Never know.
All right. Let's wrap up our discussion and let's get a trivia answer
Yeah.
from our new trivia host.
Hey, remember, I'm looking for a team.
I went Chief Homer pick here.
I got the 49ers. I didn't write it down. 49ers.
49ers, Titans. Berto, it's interesting because if we went with Homer picks, the Eagles and the Steelers are on that list,
Ooh.
as are the New York Jets.
Yes.
It's 4 points for Hank.
Damn it.
Nice.
1 point
nice.
for Berto with the Patriots.
1 point for Burrow.
Okay.
Nothing for the Aliens, as I'm sure he knows Carlos Hyde being the number 1 overall pick to the 49ers.
Damn.
And Rich, I forgot what you had.
The Titans.
The Titans get you 1
Derrick
point.
Henry.
They've never had a number 1 pick, but they've had several number 2 picks.
What about Derrick Henry?
Derrick Henry is not a number 1
Oh,
overall.
he was 2. You're right. He's 2. I took him 2.
As
That's
was
what I thought
Saquon
about. I
Barkley,
thought
which
about
is
that hard, and I
one.
was like, no, he was not the number 1 pick.
Oh, you're,
So you
right.
score, and I'll keep track of this, Hank.
You're totally right.
You seem really bad at this.
You're going to keep track of score? Oh,
Hank's got 4. Stick has 0. Berto and Bork each have 1.
Right.
That's a big lead.
Damn.
Good question.
that was a good question. I like the fact that Chief's going to keep track of score. Okay, is that
And I
something
wrote down
all year long? Am I removed from scoring?
Yes.
You have no responsibility in these matters whatsoever.
I can do that.
Answer the questions. Keep doing what you're doing.
All right.
All right. Well, guys, good to see everybody.
Good seeing everyone.
Good to see all of our viewers out there. I'm excited. We just had the NFL draft. It's not my quarterback, so I'm kind of excited to see a little NFL drama with Aaron Rodgers. Things are percolating.
If you're curious.
So, okay, Ravens, Jets, Eagles, Steelers, Seahawks, Washington, and the Texans.
Nice. Can I just say that Mike Davis might have been an amazing steal for me last year? I just want to point that out before
That might work out
It
very
turned out really well for you. Yeah.
I've got him as a keeper for you right now for sure.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, I was waiting for them to draft a running back, and I was like, 6th round running back or something like that they took. I was like, Davis is their guy. Rock and roll. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I was watching the Falcons draft as well because my friend Brandon Copeland is no longer on the Patriots, Chief. He signed with the Falcons this offseason. They did not take any linebackers, and he and I we were texting a little bit. He's going to get to cover Kyle Pitts in training camp, and
Wow.
for better or worse,
Yeah.
chance to stand out, I guess. So anyway, yeah, NFL draft just happened. Start figuring out where these rookies are going to go. Start fielding those trade offers from Berto and Kramer. I'm a little skeptical about this blockbuster you say you have coming, Berto. Let's see something.
It's brewing.
All right.
It's always brewing. It's been brewing for a year and a half.
Him and Kramer, they got it brewing.
Always brewing.
I think we got a lot of teams on this webcast who may be active in the offseason. The Aliens certainly could use some upgrades. K-Wheels may be looking for a keeper.
Maybe.
I've got a receiver trade.
Yeah, you've got extra receivers. Berto's got some extra talent. Lizards don't have a lot of debates, as I recall.
Berto has a lot of extra talent.
No, we have things to trade, though. If you're interested in players, we got some players.
The team that is really loaded with kind of excess keeper-worthy-ish players is the Hormel Hams. I feel like they've got 8 guys in the mix in addition to their 7 keepers. So yeah, I think there could be lots of trades this offseason. Now that the rookies have been drafted, we know what we're dealing with. Let's go make some trades, and we'll be back here to talk rules at some point whenever we decide.
Whenever is that next week? When do we talk rules?
Soon.
Might be right before keeper day.
Right.
We're now in the official football has opened zone.
Okay.
Anything can be expected. We'll see. I don't think it'll happen for the next few weeks, but
I would hope not. I would hope that we're not that close to this yet. I mean, I'm glad that we're talking football with the draft and whatnot, but dude, football season doesn't start until like July. Let's be honest.
Let me plant one other seed, actually. Non-football note to wrap us up. We said it's Michael Giovenco's 50th birthday today. At some point later in May, date to be determined, we will have some sort of a feast.
Yes, we will be dining in Michael's honor.
Those of you in DC plan on joining us. Those of you who are not in DC, maybe with this advance notice,
We'll coordinate.
think about
Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it in Philly. Who knows?
that works.
That'll work.
Happy
We'll work on it.
50th birthday to Michael. Happy birthday to Julianne Martinelli today. Have a great off season, everybody. We'll hopefully be back here soon, talking trades, talking rules, and talking about keeper lists and the 2021 season ahead of us. In the meantime,
And may the 4th be with you.
May the 4th.
may the 4th be with you.
Happy
Take
Cinco de Mayo.
And Cinco de Mayo tomorrow.
big week.
Big week.
Big
May
week.
Day, Kentucky Derby, Mother's Day, Mike's 50th.
Bayheim had a horse. That was fun.
Wow. All right, we're going to leave on that note. Good night, everyone.
Good night.